Chicagoland's supermayor might be going to a supermax prison very soon. The FBI issued multiple subpoenas in the last week, and now we know that a federal grand jury has been investigating Tiffany Henyard for corruption since November. I do not know what more they need to see. The residents of the town literally had a rally called Take Our Township Back last week. It won't be her first time behind bars, but unlike when she was arrested for vehicle trespass, she is now facing 22.
Yo, let me take you through a wild story that sounds like something straight out of a movie, but trust me, it's real. We're talking about Tiffany Henyard, the mayor of Dalton, a small town in Illinois, with a population of just 20,000. You'd think a place that size would slide under the radar, right? Wrong. Tiffany's put this town front and center, and not for any good reasons. Here's the kicker. Tiffany isn't just the mayor. Nah, she's also the township supervisor. That means she's pulling in a paycheck close to $300,000 a year. For context, the President of the United States makes $400,000, and this woman's running a village right behind the leader of the free world. But hold up, this didn't just happen by chance. Tiffany's got this whole first black woman to hold this position thing going for her. She's proud of it too. She loves saying how people want to control her, how she's under constant attack. And in her mind, it's always a battle. She's always talking about, I fight back. But here's the twist, she's fighting battles in court. 25 legal battles, to be exact. Impressive, right? But guess what? It's costing the town hundreds of thousands of dollars. Taxpayers are footing the bill, and meanwhile, the town's deep in $7 million in debt. That's double the amount when she took office. Messy, right? But hold tight, because this gets even crazier. Just recently, Tiffany fired the chief of police. Why? Because he was investigating her. He was looking into how she was using the city's credit cards, and let's just say the numbers weren't adding up. Some people think it's all about manipulating the system, and that's when things started to get real suspicious. The fire chief thought enough of it to put his own job on the line. But wait, there's more. Reports came out that one of Tiffany's police officers claimed to have worked 300 hours of overtime in 2 weeks. Do the math, that's physically impossible. So, what's going on behind the scenes? A lot of people are starting to wonder if there's some serious fraud happening. Real shady stuff going down, y'all. Now here's where it gets even more wild. Tiffany is under investigation for possibly hiring someone with a criminal record involving minors. Yeah, you heard that right. But here's the thing. She's always talking about how she's all about protecting the community. So people are looking at her sideways now, wondering what exactly she's protecting, and it doesn't stop there. Tiffany stayed completely silent after a sexual assault incident in her town. Silence. She said nothing. Zero support for the victim. And this is a woman who loves talking about being a voice for black women, right? But when it came time to act, nothing. The victim went to her for help, but instead, she was put on leave and lost her job. Betrayal. That's the word people keep using when they talk about Tiffany. People are heartbroken, furious, betrayed. And here's the kicker. She's living it up while the town is falling apart. Tiffany's throwing parties with city funds, and these aren't some small get-togethers, private security detail, the whole 9 yards. And guess what? Taxpayers are paying for her personal security, $250,000 a year for guards to keep her safe. On top of her massive salary. Oh, and her face is everywhere. Billboards, posters, town vehicles, public buildings, even the town calendar. You know, the one with her birthday on it. Not Martin Luther King Jr.'s, but hers. Her birthday. Now let that sink in. Yo, grifter, maybe you should learn to speak English properly sometime. Your grammar's atrocious, but then again, maybe that's what happens when you're a mayor who looks like that. And trust me, this isn't even the worst of it. It gets worse. There's a voice recording where someone calls her a despicable savage monkey and tells her she better watch her back. And just to make sure we're clear, Tiffany's the first black woman to hold both positions, mayor and township supervisor, and the youngest too. But the more the news reports on her, the more these kinds of things pop up. And here's the real tea. Tiffany's more focused on her personal brand than actually doing the job. She's out here playing influencer, podcasting, and promoting herself like she's some kind of social media star. But hold on a minute. She's the mayor, not a wannabe YouTuber or podcaster. The people in Dalton didn't vote for an influencer. They wanted a leader. But instead, they got a promoter. That's why they're pissed, and don't get it twisted. This isn't about her being a podcaster or influencer. This is about being mayor. Being mayor means you can't be out here posing for a poster celebrating MLK while slapping your tiny picture in the corner. It's disrespectful to the people you're supposed to represent. Dalton deserves better. Now let me tell you something else. The people of Dalton are starting to see through her act. They're sick of the distractions and the image. What they want is real leadership. But Tiffany? She's out here making herself the center of attention, while the town goes down the drain. So y'all, what do you think? Is Tiffany Henyard really the mayor Dalton deserves, or is she just another example of power gone wrong? Let me know in the comments below, cause this story is far from over, and we're just getting started. People couldn't believe it. The arrogance, the ego, it was way too much. Now you might think, maybe that's just how she runs things. Maybe she's just bold, a little unapologetic. But nah, this is something else entirely. Multiple local business owners are stepping forward, saying they were pressured to donate to her personal causes. Refuse? Well, suddenly their business licenses don't get renewed. Coincidence? They don't think so. They believe Tiffany's been using her power to squeeze money from the community, and it's creating a serious economic crisis. Some businesses can't even stay open. Others, they're barely hanging on, and the fear is real. People are scared that if they speak up, their livelihoods will be next on the chopping block. Things got so bad that residents started calling on former Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot to investigate. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. Tiffany's been accused of historic misuse of taxpayer funds, and we're talking big numbers. First off, she's allegedly been using the local police as her own personal security detail, costing the town up to $1 million. But wait, it gets worse. Tiffany's also been accused of misusing taxpayer money for lavish trips for herself and her entourage. Add to that her combined salary, $287,000 between her mayor and township supervisor roles. For a town of just $20,000. People? That's wild. For context, the highest salary in the U.S. government is $400,000, and she's making just under $300,000. In a small town. But that's not all. Let's talk antics. Here she is at a public meeting, dressed up as an infamous criminal kingpin. Why, you ask? Well, if you're going to be a disgrace, might as well do it in style, right? Now, here's the real kicker. The FBI is involved. There are whispers, no, rumors, that criminal charges are coming her way. If they do, it could be game over for Tiffany. Jail time? It's a real possibility. And yet, she acts like she's untouchable. She brushes off the criticism, posts selfies, and claims she's a victim. But the truth is, more and more people are starting to see through her act. The big question is, how did this happen? How did someone get this much power in such a small place and use it like this? Some say she inherited the township supervisor job after the previous office holder died, along with a massive paycheck. Others believe she passed shady rules to make sure no one could ever take her place without losing that fat salary. Get this. She even proposed that if anyone else wins the next election, the salary would drop from $225,000 to just $25,000. A 90% cut just so no one else can benefit like she has. And yet, people are still lining up to run against her. That's how fed up they are. Meanwhile, Tiffany's critics say she's more obsessed with fame than actually doing the job. Her YouTube channel is packed with videos of her. Her foundation? It's named after her. Her events? Yeah, you guessed it. About her. Some people are saying it's not even about Dalton anymore. It's about Tiffany. This whole thing has become a circus. And then comes the real punch to the gut. The community is hurting. The people of Dalton feel ignored, tricked, and honestly, betrayed. They watch their town fall apart, and their leader is out here posing for photos and throwing parties. One local resident summed it up best. "I'm just furious. I'm hurt. This makes no sense." And she's not alone. More people are speaking out, and as they do, documents are being released. The numbers don't lie. When Tiffany took office, the town had a $3.5 million debt. Now, it's sitting at a $7 million debt in just a few years, double the debt and half the trust. But it's not just about money. It's about trust. It's about betrayal. It's the feeling that your own leader, the one who promised to represent you, is treating your town like it's her personal kingdom. So, what now? Nobody knows for sure. The investigations are still underway, and the community is still waiting for justice. But one thing is crystal clear. This story isn't going away. The tale of Mayor Tiffany Henyard is far from over. But for the people of Dalton, the hope is that one day, just one day, the town will belong to the people again, not just one woman. Until then, we watch, we wait, and we keep asking questions, because someone has to.